So, now that we are in October and we are fast approaching Halloween, and Halloween's cancelled for everybody, I thought, let's start doing some abandoned videos. I live in Lincolnshire, everything's abandoned. Why the devil not? Shouldn't say that word while I'm here. Anyway, first one. The very haunted, spooky, satanic, I can't remember the name of the church, but a church. I don't know any of the ghost stories yet. I thought I would read them after. That's wise. But by the time you're watching this, I will know the ghost stories. So, if they're any good, I'll tell you. If they're rubbish, I'll make my own up. But anyway, this is Skidbrooke Church.
Welcome everybody. Now, the stories that I'm about to tell you might be a bit too graphic in nature for some. I don't think my audience is old enough for such content. This is fair warning, and we will go ahead now.
Lucky for me, I don't have an audience, and the stories are terrible. Now, one report reads, and I will quote, "The second you walk into the graveyard, you will suddenly feel extremely cold." Now, this did happen to me. It freaked me out. I was starting to panic. Then I realised I didn't have my hat on. So we were all okay. I will go on with the quote. "There is always a dark cloud over the church, even on a sunny day. You will feel cold hands touching your head and hands all the time. Do not ever go alone or at night." In truth, this is a 13th century medieval church in the fenlands of Lincolnshire. It stands out on the skyline because of how flat it is in the surrounding area. It is very isolated and remote and is known as the Demon Church. It is one of the most haunted spots in all of Lincolnshire, and there is often paranormal teams and strange happenings going on in the church. The most popular ghost that is said to haunt this church is of a 15th century monk who was murdered just there in the church. Nobody knows where he was buried, but it's more than likely on the church grounds. He is said to be a restless spirit and can often be found in paranormal outings. The ghost wasn't said to have been too active until the church lay abandoned in the 1970s. Since the church has been abandoned in the 1970s, lots of satanic cults have been using the church for animal sacrifices and demon worship. Ever since the 70s, the ghost has become more prominent, and sightings of the monk are becoming more and more regular. This is said to be the monk shot by Retford ghost hunters on a rainy Tuesday night. Demon and satanic groups are still regular to the church. They started going in the 70s, they've continued into the 80s, and recently it started back up at the start of this year, being the great year of 2020. Maybe we can blame them. The sounds of Robert Smith's voice are said to echo into the early hours, and then soon after, the monk appears. I believe the monk's favourite song is Friday I'm in Love.
Just up to the eyes, it's a wonderful surprise to see your shoes.
So there we go. No cults going on today. So I can't really make this place look too spooky, and it's very pretty. The reason I left it in is because this is a good example of an old deserted medieval village. This is the Wolds of Lincolnshire, which up until the 14th century, this village and many similarly forgotten about villages near this area were the most populated in all of England. You can tell by the furrow markings and the lining of the trees, which is better examples behind where I'm about to explore. I'm about to explore the church, but behind there's a lining of trees, and you can see that it makes out the old remnants of an old medieval town. It's not known for certain why this town or village and the lands around here were deserted so quickly, but it was more than likely as a result of the Black Death. The lining of trees is straight ahead here. It goes round, you can see it's shaped round. That's a good example of a deserted medieval village. So behind those trees that I was just looking at the last time I spoke to you is this church, 19th century church, very Gothic, very beautiful, very neglected these days. What I can kind of make out from being inside and just reading notices and little bits, it was abandoned about 10 years ago. It's very pretty. I will shut up when I go inside. I just thought I'd give you a little before you go no. Does that make sense? Of all the things I saw in the two places I visited, that tablet that was just that struck me as the saddest. It read, "This tablet erected in memory of the deceased children of William and Eliza Witham and buried in the family vault. Mary Ann Witham died March 18th, aged 14 years. Caroline Witham, aged 12. I just thought that was really tragic. In an abandoned church, a tablet for the death of two children. I don't know. But anyway, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed my first kind of spooky episode. I don't mean any disrespect to being jovial about certain places I'm in. It's just the way I am. I tend to do videos on a Monday, so I don't know what I'll be doing next Monday. I was going to do abandoned places, but I might do ghost stories. I might go around Lincolnshire and do different ghost stories. I'm not sure yet. But like and subscribe to catch up with me. I'm trying to do a video every Monday while I'm in lockdown, and it's proving to be a good motivational thing in a dark period. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.